Hey all, here are OS Reviews. You're watching our hands-on review of the Bluedio Hi Hurricane. These are TWS true wireless earbuds, which have a value price tag. It sells for as low as $15 with shipping included. That's one of the lowest prices I've seen out of any TWS pair of earbuds on the market. It's almost 50% cheaper than even the already affordable Xiaomi Redmi AirDots, and from a brand, Bluedio, that's at least somewhat recognizable, it's quite surprising. They've taken a super value-oriented approach by trying to undercut the price as much as possible. Just a few months back, we checked out the Bluedio T-Elf, which were already really cheap at around $35 or so, and they sounded pretty decent for the money. And now this is, again, half of that price at only $15, which is pretty insane. First, a closer look at some of its technical specifications. It claims to get you about 20 hours of life on the go with the battery case. The earbuds will last up to 5 hours on a single charge, and the battery case provides up to 4 extra charges when on the road. Otherwise, they have 13mm dynamic drivers on board, and claims to have something that's called face recognition technology, which allows it to recognize whenever they're inserted into your ears or removed. So whenever you remove the right earbuds from your ears, the sound will actually pause. And whenever you put it back into the ears, the music will resume. So there's an intelligent auto play and pause function, and it does also have a built-in microphone which you can use for answering phone calls. Now inside of the box, we have access to some spare silicone tips to get a more custom fit. We also have a charging cable, which is actually using the latest USB Type-C standard as opposed to micro USB, which I assumed because the cost is so low. So it's pretty impressive there. They're also using the latest charging port. If we take a closer look at the design of the earbuds case first, now first impressions would be that the battery case is pretty large in terms of the physical size, but it's also surprisingly lightweight and feels a little bit hollow. Now as a quick size comparison, here it is next to the previous Bluedio T-Elf, which are about 2 times smaller in terms of the dimensions of the case, but weigh about the same. Here it is next to the Apple AirPods, so definitely a little bit chunkier as well, and here we have the Redmi AirDots. Now you have to physically press on the bottom key here to begin charging on the earbuds, and that's because to reduce on the production costs, Bluedio cut out any magnets or automatic charging mechanisms so that whenever you put them into the case, they don't automatically start charging. You have to tap on this key to begin and then tap on it again to turn it off. So that's really up to you to remember. Sometimes if you put it into the case expecting it to charge, you may occasionally have a pair of earbuds that's still out of power. So that's one difference and one convenience that's missing compared to the previous generations, which had the automatic function, and the earbuds themselves, which were magnetic whenever you dock them. These, also the door itself opens up mechanically and doesn't hold shut using magnets, so you have to close it with a physical click down, and it's a little bit rougher as far as these smaller details are concerned. Same thing with the earbuds themselves. They don't insert into the case magnetically, but you have to press down with a click until they press in physically and then begin charging yourself. Otherwise, the rear here features the latest USB Type-C charging port, and that's pretty much it. We have a Bluedio logo that's presented on the very top of the battery case. Another difference of these compared to the T-Elf is that they resemble more of the Apple kind of AirPods in terms of their form factor and design, just because there is a longer stem that points outwards compared to the previous T-Elf, which were more like in-ear monitors. It's definitely a little bit on the chunkier side as well, so they didn't have to cram in electronics into as small of a package, and perhaps we're also able to save on the manufacturing costs a little bit more. They're still relatively comfortable because of how lightweight they are, and the fact that there's an ergonomic tilt to the earbuds. Otherwise, on the outside, we do have a little bit of a metal accent going on, and we do have the microphones as well as the physical buttons that you can tap on to turn them on, as well as play and pause your music and to skip tracks. As with all earbuds, sound quality is directly proportional to the fit that you get in your ears. Once you have the right silicone tip attached, the sound quality is better than expected for only $15. Overall, again, with a tight enough seal, you can definitely feel the bass, especially if you're playing back a bass-boosted track or EDM type music. You definitely can feel the drum beats. It's not the most bass-rich pair of earbuds in the world. Some of the other TWS pairs we've reviewed do have larger drivers, which are a bit more powerful, but as a whole, they definitely sound pretty good, and in my opinion, match what you'll find on the Redmi AirDots, which again are more expensive than these, so kudos again to Bluedio. Otherwise, mids and highs also sound reasonably well balanced. This is by no means an audiophile grade pair of earbuds, so some of the details might be slightly missing if you are playing back, say, a orchestral track, or if you're listening to classical music, something high-res quality, and you're trying to listen to all the nuances and details, you can occasionally hear a little bit of distortion in the background. If you pause the music and listen super closely, there's a little bit of a hiss. So it's not 100% silent, but it's also not too distracting. As you start playing back the music, it kind of just fades into the background. As a whole, connectivity also seemed quite stable in my testing with a Xiaomi smartphone and a Huawei smartphone, and they paired with each other fairly quickly and then connected with my phone in about 10 seconds or so. Otherwise, I can play and pause the track, and it's synced pretty well between the audio as well as the video that I'm watching on my phone. So like other Bluetooth 5.0 earbuds, latency has definitely been improved. Finally, I'll mention that the auto pause function does indeed work. Now, it's only on the right earbud, so if you remove the left earbud from your ears first, it's not going to pause the music. But if you remove the right one, it will indeed pause the music in 95% of the times that I've tried it. So it's actually pretty accurate, and it just pauses the video or the song you're listening to and resumes when you put the earbud back into your ears. Overall, again, it's a nice little touch that I actually do wish more manufacturers would implement. So that's the Bluedio Hi Hurricane TWS earbuds. It's shocking that these sell for only $15, just because on paper it seems impossible to get the price so low. The only areas where Bluedio had to compromise, I'd say, would be making the battery case again a little bit larger than some of its competition, despite the fact that the duration of 20 hours is still slightly on the lower side in terms of battery life is concerned. Corners were cut a little bit on the manufacturing and construction quality, but the sound quality itself is definitely better than what you'll expect for only $15 alone. So if you're interested, be sure to check out more details in the links down below. But for now, that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been the Bluedio Hi Hurricane, the $15 true wireless earbuds.